What's good, my third-rate duelist? So today I'm bringing you update to my Blue Eyes Pure White Dragon deck profile. This time no Albast stuff, no Invoke stuff, just strictly pure Blue Eyes with the new format coming up, and Malice and Mitsurugi pretty much probably set to take over the format. I did want to kind of just go back to ground zero just with a very pure budget deck such as Blue Eyes. Not many changes have been made. However, I did add the Crimson Dragon package just because you want the ceiling for this deck to be as high as you can. And if you play into Nib, you play into Nib. Really not much we can do about it. With the Malice Mitsurugi format coming up post-Alliance Insight, the ceiling for the tier 1 decks is just going to be so much higher than most rogue and budget decks. I feel like you just want to have as much firepower as you can. With that in mind, I'm just going to quickly go over my deck and then kind of go over some test hands showing you what the deck can do. So we're running 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. That's not going to change. It's never going to be running 3. I could see it getting cut down to 1. I'm going into games 2 and 3. Then we have 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage, obviously one of the best starters in the deck. Nothing really to say about that. 3 Maiden of Whites. Again, you want to have as many 1-card starters as you can. With my deck profiles, I usually try and keep 15 1-card starters. So we have 3 Sages, 3 Maidens, and then of course the 3 Kaiser Sea Horse, 3 Wishes for Eyes of Blue. With Wishes, we're running also 3 Bingo Machine Goes, basically 3 additional copies of Wishes. Then we have the bricks. We are running Synchro Rumble because again, with the new format post-Alliance Insight coming up, you want to have the highest ceiling you can. So it does give you another brick. It is something I'm experimenting. Most likely might take it out. Hopefully we can go into what it does for the deck though. And again, Roar, True Light, Majesty of the White Dragons, Mausoleum of White, just all your other, I guess, pseudo bricks and just one-ups in the deck. Then with it being a format full of hand traps as usual, you definitely want to run Called By, Pot of Prosperity, Triple Attack, and Crossout just because you are most likely going to get hand traps. So you want to have some form of defense or the ability to draw 2 cards or dig 6 deep. Just definitely stuff you need in the deck. Then we have the buy steal cards. Obviously, with Fiendsmith being around, I'm not sure how prominent they will be in the next format. However, these cards can also add you your Kaiser Sea Horse if you don't want to add another buy steal off Magma Hut. And then Juiceworm, he's just so powerful. Speaking of hand traps, we have 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Nibs, 3 Droll Lockbird, and 3 Infinite Impermanence. So now for the extra deck, 2 Spirit, 1 Hieratic Seal, the Lyna. I did remove Selene just because the extra deck is getting a little tight with the Crimson Dragon stuff. Speaking of, we are running Stardust, Crimson Dragon, and then also Cosmic Blazar. Then of course the Ultimate Spirit Dragon, Lightstorm Dragon, and then the 2 Blue Eye Spirit that we bounce into. You could also be running a 3rd if you want to make your end board even stronger. But for now, I think we're just going to keep 2. And then we have Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, and then 1 Typhon just for going second. So I'm going to do a quick test hand and then show you what the deck can do. All right, deck is shuffled. We got Sage, Wishes, Ash Blossom, another Sage, and Called by the Grave. All right, so really good going first hand. I feel like that is a common theme with Blue Eyes. Even though we run a lot of hand traps, I honestly don't really draw too many of them. We run around 15. So from here, we'll just go ahead and normal summon Sage with Eyes of Blue. Sage is gonna go ahead and grab us our Maiden of White. Now we can just go ahead, discard Maiden of White. That's gonna go ahead and grab us our True Light, place face up on the board. Then we can go ahead, link off Sage with Eyes of Blue, activate Spirit. Spirit's gonna go ahead and grab us our Mausoleum of White. Go ahead and move this over here. Go ahead and activate Mausoleum of White. Then we can do our second normal summon with Sage with Eyes of Blue. He can go ahead and grab us our Effect Veiler from the deck, just to have an extra hand trap. So we're gonna have 2 in hand. More than likely, just gonna go ahead and discard the Called by the Grave for the Wishes. Go ahead and do that now. Wishes can then go ahead and grab us our Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons and then an Effect Veiler. So we have double Effect Veiler. So now we have 3 hand traps in hand. Even if they were able to stop us, 3 hand traps are pretty good so far. From here, we can just go ahead and activate Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. That's going to go ahead and special summon our Blue Eyes White Dragon from our deck. We cannot activate Maiden of White because Spirit with Eyes of Blue prevents us from special summoning anything that is not a dragon monster. But we can go ahead and work around that, because now we're going to go ahead, banish our Wishes for Eyes of Blue. That's going to go ahead and attach our Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then we can go ahead and go into our Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, utilizing our Blue Eyes White Dragon and the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, just getting the Blue Eyes in the graveyard. Now we can go ahead, bounce our Spirit, special summoning our Blue Eyes. That's going to go ahead, activate our Maiden of White. Maiden of White is going to go ahead and special summon herself onto the board. We now have a full board. So now we can go ahead, get Sage with Eyes of Blue off of the board, go into our first Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. Now we can use Mausoleum, targeting the Maiden of White to send another Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard, chain Maiden of White to then special summon our Sage back from the graveyard. The other Blue Eyes White Dragon goes from our deck to the graveyard, so we're thinning our deck of our bricks. Now we can just go ahead and go into our second Spirit Dragon, utilizing these two. Then from here, I feel like we're just gonna go ahead and bounce this, going into our Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Then we can bounce the second one, going into Crimson Dragon. Activate Crimson Dragon's effect to go ahead and grab us our Synchro Rumble. You know, I did just realize something. So we actually do need 3 Blue Eye Spirit Dragons. To remedy for that, I feel like, okay, you just go ahead and add the 3rd Blue Eye Spirit Dragon and then take out the Light Storm Dragon. So we're just gonna go ahead and pretend like we have 3 of them in there. Just go ahead and put this one back. So the Light Storm Dragon will be taken out, and just say we have 3 Blue Eye Spirit Dragons. Just a test sound, so let's go along with it. I don't want to go and grab my 3rd one. So we got Synchro Rumble. I'm also realizing we actually don't really need this. I really don't like Synchro Rumble. The Crimson Dragon package already is very win more. And then honestly, Synchro Rumble is just that extra too sweet spot where you really don't need it. Because right now we can go ahead and utilize True Light to special summon our Blue Eyes White Dragon. We can go into our 3rd Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon from there. And then if we do Synchro Rumble, we're really only special summoning a tuner, which we don't really need at the moment. We can also do True Light to go ahead and get us our Majesty of the White Dragons as well, which would be a double pop. But just to show the full extent on the board, I'm going to go ahead and activate True Light, special summoning our Blue Eyes White Dragon. From there, we would go ahead and go into our 3rd Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. We can go ahead and bounce Crimson Dragon back to the extra deck, going into Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon, and then bounce. And then actually, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and keep this one on board. So we added 2 Effect Veilers, have Ash Blossom still in hand. We added a Synchro Rumble. If we wanted to add our Wishes for Eyes of Blue, actually, during the opponent's turn, we can go ahead and activate True Light to get Wishes for Eyes of Blue. That way we can go ahead and discard Synchro Rumble. And since we have Majesty of the White Dragon still in deck, we'd be able to get this, plus our 3rd Sage with Eyes of Blue. So it's actually not the worst thing. So that's why I'm gonna keep Synchro Rumble in hand. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and pass to our opponent's turn. So we have 1 Omni Negate, 2 Omni Negates. Our cards cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects during the first time because of Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon. And then we'd go ahead and keep Blue Eye Spirit Dragon on board just to have the graveyard effect, because we don't really need 3 Omni Negates. So we'd go ahead and try and utilize the graveyard negate. Then once we get that out of the way, we can go ahead and special summon our Cosmic Blazar Dragon. So he is our 3rd Omni Negate. So he comes on the board. So we have 3 Omni Negates at this point. So we have 2 Effect Veilers in hand, a Synchro Rumble, pretty much dead Synchro Rumble, Ash Blossom in hand. So this is pretty much 3 Negates right here, 3 Omni Negates. I feel like we wouldn't really need to special summon our Blue Eyes White Dragon from here. On our opponent's turn, pretty much after we Omni Negate them 3 times, probably wouldn't even need to utilize the Effect Veilers. We would go ahead and activate True Light, setting our Wishes for Eyes of Blue right here. And then on our turn, we'd go ahead and get Sage with Eyes of Blue, utilizing our wishes. We can go ahead and discard this. And then now we have a full hand. So we have a double pop. We have Sage with Eyes of Blue that can go ahead and grab us our 3rd Effect Veiler. Pretty much they can't do anything at that point because the Omni Negates are still there. We'd get a 3rd Effect Veiler, still have Ash in hand, a double pop. And that's just even if they didn't already scoop with the 3 Omni Negates we set on board. So that concludes the video. As you can see, this is it for the White Destiny structure deck version of the deck. I did add a few additions. Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon would be the biggest addition to the pure Blue Eyes. He was $30. He's coming down to $20 at the moment. So aside from that, everything else on the deck is really cheap. Now the Crimson Dragon is reprinted. If you don't want to start a Cypher Divine Dragon, Cosmic Blazer Dragon's around $2 for the common. I don't know if this is the Platinum Secret Rare or the Quarter Century. Actually, I think it is the Quarter Century. So that one's $5 for the Quarter Century, maybe $6 now, and then $2 for the common. Start a Cypher Divine Dragon has gone down to $20. So as you can see, very budget still. Even with all of the additions I've made, I feel like I've made $10 of normal additions to the structure deck, 3 structure decks, $20 for Start a Cypher Divine Dragon, and then like a couple dollars for the extra deck. And again, very affordable and very high ceiling end board. And then you're able to run a lot of hand traps, so the deck can go second as well. If you guys want to see more upgrades or to see what else we can do with just the pure budget version of the Blue Eyes, let me know, comment below. Let me know you guys are interested in it. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. I'll catch you guys in the next video.